Hello, welcome to K-Pop Escape. You're escaping to the world of K-pop. Today, we'll be discussing the feminist movement in Korea that erupted in maybe a little bit after the Me Too movement. It's steady going upward since then. Korea has multiple feminist groups. So this episode, we're going to take a deep dive into it. There's been an upsurge of a feminist movement in South Korea in the last 5 years. Feminists in South Korea are planning to conduct a nationwide protest against gender bias. It's a response to an anti-feminist wave that has swept across South Korea, creating tense ginger. Wow. You can tell I'm reading something, but hey, everybody has notes. Creating a tense gender war where discourse around women's rights is taboo. Men claim they are now the victims of gender discrimination. Every law known to man, which was made by men, give men the upper hand. But since now people are turning, or women and some men are turning on those traditional views and rules, now they're getting turned on, apparently. The new president, who I've heard been claimed the Korean Donald Trump, President Yoon Suk-yeol, plans to abolish the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family Civic Labor and social groups including Korean Women Association United. The feminist organization Haeil, Korean word for tsunami, is leading the protest in cities like Seoul, Gwangju, and Busan. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Family, which was established in 2001 to provide girls suffering from sexual and domestic violence and to ensure policies do not discriminate based on gender. The Me Too movement took down major public figures accused of sexual misconduct, including the mayor of Busan, South Korea's second largest city. But now some men think things have gone too far. Yoon won the presidency earlier this year, which is back in 2022, I believe he won last year, accusing feminists of misandry and appealing to young men who feel like they have bear the brunt of Korea's growing economic insecurities and shrinking job market. I feel like if women are out here going to school, doing what they have to do, and getting the jobs based on their experience and their hard work, men need to try harder. It's not because they're women, it's because their freaking resumes are better than y'all. Y'all need to work harder. They always think discrimination, like maybe there is one or two women hires just to, mix up the office life or whatever job it is. But work harder, and women probably would not take y'all jobs or blame it on them and the changing of policies. I don't know, but women ain't do nothing. All right. Now, all women want is to not be abused, whether it's physically, mentally, or sexually. It's that simple. Men think they own women. They can do whatever they want with women. And now that women are pushing back and saying, nah, like they don't want to get married, have kids, be in a relationship at all now, because the dating pool is full P at this rate. Like, not all women want to just be housewives. Like people, like literally there is like a tradition or a rule in Korea, like when women who are working, they get married, they expect them to basically resign to stay home and get pregnant and have kids. Like that's what they expect from women in Korea. And a lot of women don't want to do that now. So, I don't know. Men are now blaming women or their ability to not get a job because of policies meant to increase economic opportunity for women. I feel like it's 50% like the policies that increase economic opportunities for women, but 50% women have better resumes and work their asses off than some of these men. Like, some of these men expect jobs because they're men, because they're family ties, because like, a lot of people who just expect jobs just cause, and no, you gotta work harder, and they're upset about it. And anti-feminists have taken social media and online communities to spread their belief that Korean feminists are radical men haters. A woman can be a feminist and still love, marry men. It's just that there are men out here who don't, want to abuse women or dumb women down to just household chores, or dumb women down to just their looks and their bodies. That's that. A lot of these men who claim this only see women as objects, or as moms, or as stay-at-home moms who are quote-unquote dumb, when a lot of these women have degrees. They can probably take your job, but y'all are basically bullying women, and y'all mad because they are fighting back and taking y'all jobs. Now y'all want to say they men hating. Not all feminists are men hating. Not all feminists do not hate men. If they were, they'd all be lesbians. They do hate men who treat them like meat. Like I said, like, treat them like human beings and stop treating them like somebody you can play with, I guess. President Yoon has continued to push his anti-feminist agenda in recent months, insisting he will follow through with the campaign plans to abolish Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. Yoon blames the ministry officials for treating men like potential sexual criminals and escalating gender equality, because a lot of the men in Korea are sexual criminals. They put secret cameras in bathroom stalls, hotel rooms. The rise of like tapes of like revenge porn and stuff like that, with like relationships. These men are making you look bad, Mr. Yoon. And I feel like when the next presidential election comes around, after all this exposure for the next 3 years of his 4 years of his presidency that's left, he's not gonna be in office next year. I mean, in 2026? Maybe 27. Somebody's gonna take a spot. Hopefully a woman. But a lot of women also will perpetuate the misogyny and the taboo and the conservative quote-unquote ship of men in Korea. So we'll see. But I noticed that a lot of K-pop stans and Korean entertainment fans who are not Korean, who were never born, raised, or in Korea, South Korea, push their narrative onto their idols. Oh, I believe women deserve rights and da-da-da-da, so and so must think the same thing. They're born and raised in Korea. There's a chance their views are exactly the opposite of what you think, and that what you think they are, or like the fan service they give, is because they do it to gain fans. They're not doing it because they genuinely like y'all. No offense. Some new fans, especially the younger ones who are naive and put way too much into K-pop, they put too much of their beliefs, and then like one-sided relationship where this idol don't know who you are, your name, don't know what you look like. And y'all put too much in that relationship where you think they owe you stuff that they don't owe you because they don't know you. I mean, with the Burning Sun situation, you could see that there are Korean artists who are trash. They have group chats together and they share porn with each other. Like, it's creepy. It's weird. Even if they don't read or ever look at the group chat, you're in the group chat. You're guilty by association. Just saying. Abolishing gender Abolishing the gender ministry is about strengthening the protection of women and families and children in society and the socially weak. He told the reporters in last October. That is not what this is about. Because if that ministry protects women and children, you abolishing it is putting them in danger instead of protecting them. The ministry helps women in domestic violence situations. You abolishing this is putting them in domestic violence situations, and then the uprising of spousal abuse or death is going to go up, which is already at a rise now in Korea, and it's going to be in a higher rise after this. I think it's giving the patriarchy the power back. That they see that they are losing control, and I feel like nobody in any country should believe anything a politician says, because they are trying to get you on their side. So he's going to say he's going to do all these things, but there's no guarantee he's going to do all these things. He just wants y'all on his side. And what y'all going to do if he don't pull his weight? Probably not elect him again. Like, nobody ever, anywhere, whether it's in America, Canada, South Korea, North Korea, although North Korea is a dictatorship, so you can't really, any place that does democratic or democracies where you can vote for your politicians, those places don't believe anything nobody says until they show you that they are going to do that. Because a lot of politicians say a lot, but they don't do a lot. Like, you know, South Korea continues to boast about having the largest wage gap amongst the countries, which is not really a boast. Like, oh, women get paid 31% less than men. Wow, that is such a boast. Like, what? That's basically just forcing women to quit work and stay at home and let their husband work. And a lot of these men who work also have drinking problems, and they go to the bar with their friends after work, and then they don't get home till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then that sometimes, because they're stressed from work, and the drinking combined aggravates them to the point of abuse. I think more Korean men need to be stay-at-home dads. Like, it don't really make them less of a man. To me, it don't. Your kids know you, they love you, you know. You spend more time with your kids. There's a lot of milestones parents miss, especially dads, when they're at work. For, was it Korea, their hourly is, I think hourly per week is 50 something per week right now. Like 54 hours. That the same president that y'all was talking about, he gonna change it and make it men. He's trying to make y'all work more. 80 hours a fucking week. Y'all might as well not get married. Y'all ain't never gonna be home to see y'all kids grow. Y'all voted for a man who y'all swear is gonna take down the feminists, but make y'all work more. They gonna help y'all get y'all jobs back, but make y'all work more hours. Is that really worth it? I doubt it. I don't think it's worth it. But you know, who am I? I'm American. Yeah. Anyway, South Korean women largely must choose between career and family. You can't have both, typically. Or some women wait until their kids are like out the house to get back into it, but sometimes doing that is unheard of, and it's like, don't you got kids to take care of? Your kid's a whole 19-year-old at college. What are you taking care of a 19-year-old for? They're in a whole adult at this rate. Strict maternity leave policies at workplaces are one of the reasons for Koreans' alarmingly low fertility rate at 0.8 children per woman. Just like men, women bust their asses to get their degrees to work for their dream company. They stress about interviews just to get married, and then once they have a kid, they are expected to give up their job. Some women don't even think it's worth it. They're like, keep my job, vacation, sleep. No offense, because I have kids. Kids. Drop everything I work hard for. Scholarship and all them 4 or 5 years at school just to stop and raise kids. Apart from discrimination in the workplace, women are held at a very unrealistic beauty standard. Simply having short hair are labeled feminists. If women don't wear makeup at work, coworkers ask, "Do you feel okay? Are you is something wrong? Are you sick?" They automatically attack women's appearance. There's a comedian, I forgot her name. She has short hair. She was on the show eating a chocolate bar, and one of those men's rights groups took it as her attacking them, saying they got small things. But she, first of all, is a lesbian, I think. 2, we're just eating the bar. She was just eating chocolate. And if she's not a lesbian, I take that back. But again, she was just minding her business. Women can't mind their business. There's a lot of like actresses too who cut their hair. Like Gio from Running Man, she cut her hair last year. It's grown back pretty much now, but she cut her hair short last year. And I know there's men over there crying, she looks better with long hair. Why did she cut it so short? Whatever. I think her hair looked good that way, but it's just me. The Escape the Corset movement took storm in Korea. In 2019, a rejection of the country's beauty standards and social pressure to conform. Societal expectations towards women still exist. In Tokyo Olympics in 2021, South Korean anchor Ahn San, who won the 3 gold medals, became the large target online of abuse simply because of her hairstyle. She became a target of abuse because of her hair. Maybe she didn't want hair down to her back while she's doing a freaking athletic something. She don't need to have hair down to her butt. We was gonna get tangled or something. Then y'all gonna be like, "You be alright. It's fine." No, she has the right. It's her hair. She has the right to cut it if she felt like it. And Olympics is for the sports, not for eye candy. What is wrong with y'all over there? It's not over here. Like, yeah, I might be like, yeah, she's pretty, okay, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's a shame she cut her hair, messed up her beauty. Like, no, that's not realistic. Something amazing and probably nerve-wracking for those involved happened. Instead, celebrating that she won 3 gold medals for her home country, they criticized her appearance instead. That's where their mindset is. Some men in Korea are very materialistic, very misogynistic, very much women are eye candy. Point blank, period. No matter if they're an athlete, an actress, a news anchor, a teacher, the secretary at a freaking law firm, or a marketing place. You're a woman and you're supposed to look pretty. Point blank, period over there. So, Femi, short for feminist, is a derogatory term label for a person who speaks up about gender discrimination. So if a woman don't want you coming up to her, touching her butt, and she don't freaking know you, you could call her a Femi because she don't want to get assaulted or sexually harassed by men she don't know. A lot of these men who be doing that shit be swearing they smart, and they're not, because that shows that you're not smart. Like, what's hard to understand that it's not okay to assault anybody? You would not do it to a guy, so why do it to a girl? So feminist movement is uprising in Korea right now. Men are feeling triggered and attacked by it because and the thing is, they made it this way. The multiple things you guys have done over the years has made it to where women feel this way, and even from women from young ages when they were kids and they seen when their dad treat their mom and their grandpa treat their grandma and stuff like that, or aunt and uncles and all that stuff. This was born and bred, and y'all are examples. Y'all want to blame everything else. Y'all want to blame TV, Nope. Blame y'all. Blame you. Alright, so the story that I read it was on thecut.com, and it was published on March in March 2023 by Louis Sussman, and it's called Life Without Men, and it follows this young woman in Korea, and then like the feminist movement in Korea. Young Min's childhood was difficult. She's a 25-year-old nurse born to a poor family in Daegu. Daegu is known to be one of the most conservative cities in the country, although all of Korea is conservative. I'm assuming like Daegu and Busan are conservative as hell, like the smaller little farm towns and stuff are. Young Mi's mom left due to her abusive father, and then she left her and her sister with him and a grandparent, which I think is her grandmother. Young Mi and her sister, who were 5 and 8 at the time, started losing their hair because of stress of their dad and him probably constantly yelling every day and pitching a bitch and not knowing how to regulate his emotions. So as she grew older, she found herself depressed and unsure of her future. So Young Mi felt like a perpetual victim, obsessed by the wrongdoings of her father and pressured into maintaining her appearance to please men. Her father made it a point to try to, I guess, make comments about her looks or whatever. And some I've noticed, like even, I don't personally know any Korean people, but even though they tell us not to believe everything in K-dramas is opening the third eye to what really living in Korea is like, or South Korea is like for women and like their beliefs and stuff. And a lot of men, fathers, and even some mothers put emphasis on their daughters' looks. Some women have noticed how much they spend on cosmetics and clothes, and this has caused them to try to cut back on their spending because they don't really think it's worth it, because they're not really actively seeking companionship, so they don't really feel like they should pay for any of that stuff. This movement is not out of nowhere, of the feminist movement. I feel like it just hit the Western countries first, and then very slowly made its way to the other side, where it's like the UK, Asia, Russia, all over there. With the rise of femicide, revenge porn, and dating violence, there's also been a surge in spy cams in public bathrooms and hotels in Korea. Sex crimes overwhelmingly committed by men. And let's go back to the previous statement I said about how the president's saying that they're making it seem like men are just monsters, when if it's the rise is going up, these dudes are really like this. Like, I don't know how you flip it. If it quacks like a duck and it waddles like a duck, it's a duck. So if that man is out here slipping things in girls' drinks and putting cameras in bathrooms and following girls home and something like that. Like, I just seen a video of a woman. She took a video of her apartment and some guy put a coat hanger through her door to try to unlock it from the inside. And he claimed that he was the landlord, which I would think the landlord would even know the code, call, or have a key, like a special key to get in her apartment if you need to get in her apartment. So stuff like that. And these crimes are mostly resulted in fines and suspended sentences. Some of these incidents have made it into the world of K-pop, with the Burning Sun scandal, Kohara case, and former BAP member Kim Chan's case. Men usually get away with a slap on the wrist, and the old boys will be boys rhetoric. A woman who posted a new male model for her art class online was sentenced to 10 months in prison, and court ordered sexual violence consulting. The hypocrisy. This man literally damn near killed a woman, and they get a slap on the wrist. But a girl posting a picture from a class that you can sign up for in a university goes to jail for 10 months. That's like a lot of, like I said again, a lot of K-pop fans want their oppa and take up for the living and how it is in Korea. They really don't know what it really is like in Korea. There was a article on the Korean Times, which is on Instagram, and it was about how two women have been single for 4. One was 4, the other one was 3, or one was 5, and one was 3. They're saying how men are just not worth it. They don't feel like they've been staying single for a reason, like on purpose. Like it seemed like there's no one to really or worth marrying or staying with forever, so they just don't see it as the point. And a lot of people in them comments are like, it's not really how it is. This is one-sided. And there was a lot of there was a lot of foreigners who said they also think that foreigners over there is basically objects, a play toy. They think because you're American, you hook up with whoever after one night based off of our media, because there's a lot of one night stand culture and stuff in our movies and some TV shows. So they take that as face value and then try to use that on everybody, but then they tell us not to listen to what or see what's on their media or what they put on K-dramas, movies, what you see in the news. But they do the same thing to us, and then assume everybody's easy, one night stand. You want to go to the hotel and hook up. You want to and all that jazz. And I don't think it's fair in the slightest. So the 4B movement, where women are refusing to date, have kids, or to marry, or downright refuse sex with men in efforts to dismantle the patriarchy. In their views, Korean men and are essentially beyond redemption, and Korean culture as a whole is hopeless and downright misogynistic. Like, literally, these men are taught to be the head of household. You know, you gotta provide for yourself and your future family, and women are basically raised to be pretty housewives who know how to do all cleaning, cooking, childbearing, all that. Some women want to do that, and I don't fault them. It's your life. Do what you feel like. If you want to be a housewife and be happy and spend your husband's money, that I don't care. Do what you do, man. But don't try to push that on everybody, because everybody don't see that. That's it. Women, in some people's eyes, women are just good for having kids and being alone. So, yeah. They slashed the country's already low birth rate from 1.2 to 0.78. So 3 B's. Bihan or Bishon, I don't look. My Korean is very, very much novice, very much newborn baby. So I probably gonna butcher all these words, and I'm sorry to the Korean public, and I will learn. Bihon is refusal for heterosexual marriage. Bichosan is refuse of childbirth. Yonhe is saying no to dating, or biyohe. And then bisexual is the rejection of a heterosexual sexual relationships. So, 3 B's. So the women are basically fighting back in Korea. They are done with it. They would rather not repopulate with the men in that country than be in a miserable, abusive marriage. Because also in Korea, they tend to, if a woman and a man is seen fighting on the street and the man hit her, they believe in it's none of my business. They married, that's their business, not mine. Like, nobody helps, nobody try to take up for anybody. It's their business because they're married. It's between married people. Even though y'all Koreans pick and choose when they want to mind their business, because they mind their business when it's stuff like that, supposedly, but then they're nosy, and literally people be saying the wildest shit where everybody can hear them in public settings about people in the same room. So I'm like, y'all pick and choose when y'all want to be like non-nosy or to yourselves. So in that, I'll say, I think, well, this I'm an American, and America, you don't need to know, and we don't need your opinion. I'm just a K-pop podcaster who just letting y'all know what y'all in for. If for the ones who feel like they want that life and want to get married into that life and want their Korean oppa, you legit is going to be in house. Like if you go to Korea for school, I applaud you. If you're going to Korea for modeling, I applaud you. But even the couple YouTube channels, a lot of them people gonna be sitting at home with their kids. Like, good thing for Megan Moon, she has her own hobbies, and there's other like foreigner wives who have their own jobs or hobbies. But some men probably feel like you should stay at home with the kids, and they can't find their left shoe without you and stuff like that. So I don't know.